Okay, this one's really big. What is up, guys? MACABESPEED coming at ya. Battle of the 50 caliber carbines today between the tried and true, venerable, quintessential big bore, the Dragon Claw, and the new to market Bintac M50 in 50 caliber. This Dragon Claw was my 100% first foray into the half-inch caliber domain. This 50 caliber has done so many cool videos over the history of this channel that when I heard about something mag-fed making double the foot-pounds of energy in the same caliber, I couldn't help but be interested. The M50, however, proved to have significant loading issues, at least for me personally and my own ham fists, the last time I was at the range. I didn't give you guys the full story. I hinted at the fact that the reason I got the M50 was because I wanted to do better than the offering I loved so much, but I never brought this out. Today we change that and we go ahead and do an apples to apples comparison. The granddaddy big bore in the community, the Dragon Claw versus the M50. Same ammunition testing, same distance testing, 100% ready to go for you guys today. Already filled up right to the edge of the red line in the Dragon Claw, as well as the 50 cal, so we don't have any fills to take care of. And I already have the information from last time with this rifle to go ahead and set that one-shot zero, so I think we can eliminate the zeroing as well. Just gonna go ahead and input these coordinates real quick, and then we'll get some of these 335 grain flat point Seneca bullets down range. I didn't test them last week, and I know they've been successful in this rifle before, so the M50 is gonna go ahead and get a shot at the plate as well. All right, now at this point, if everything works correctly, all of my coordinates and data on personal equipment are correct, and the crawny doesn't give me any shit, we should put together a decently respectable group with the Dragon Claw at 25 yards and generate those energy numbers for you guys. As you can hear, the livestock is obnoxious today. First seed slips right in, no problem, locking the breech closed. Starting my recording.
Well, that'll work.
Pretty close. Pretty close, generating 0.0000 velocity. So instead of wasting you guys' time and potentially going ahead and missing all of the data that we have for you guys, I am going to go ahead and set up a secondary crawny so that you guys get the information.
They're coming right here, buddy.
That's fire. That's fire. That's fire. It's a big red chopper. I'm a puss. I'm afraid of fire. Alright guys, so as you saw, we had a little bit of a scare. There is a life flight helicopter, the fire department type, that did do a quick pass directly over the top of us. We do a pretty good plume of smoke coming from potentially 3 to 5 miles to our north at this point. We're going to pay attention to that, but I just don't have the time at this point to go ahead and set up the secondary crawny. Bear with me. If you don't like it, blame it on the wildfire. Let's go ahead and put 5 shots on that board and then see where we are pressure-wise. Restart my recording. Pretty decent. There's so much smoke out here right now. I really hope a fire doesn't come over that ridge.
We'll keep going.
All right, 2 shots left in the group. I think this is my breech seal. It is my breech seal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all coming from the air post fire, dude.
can't believe it. One of the most reliable guns in my whole collection is starting to give me shit. My breech seal is now giving me a bunch of shit. Well, this breech seal is now dead. I'll have to replace that. It's very unfortunate. Last shot in the group. Decent. It is unfortunate once again, guys, like I said, based on the fact that we did blow our breech seal or have our breech seal go bad on us, go south on us, but I don't think that's going to necessarily impact our results as far as this test is concerned. And after 5 shots, guys, this is where our pressure's at. Alright, guys, let's go ahead and see if these decide they want to chamber any easier for us. I know last week we had some definite issues as far as chambering is concerned. Okay, so these do not chamber any simpler than the stuff that we saw last week. Give myself some zoomy zoom. And fire.
Chronograph data?
Nope. Not that bad. So basically the same placement on the paper as the Dragon Claw, and I do feel like that's going to be sufficient for us to go ahead and group. Let's go ahead and see what we can do with the next 4 shots. Okay. Okay. Not terrible. That was a damn dry fire. Because of the fact that these slugs are too big in this magazine and they just don't rotate. Yet another fail for MACABESPEED trying to do the M50 review. I fully base this on my own shortcomings though at this point and not the rifle. We're going to single load these and get the data. Not bad. I know you guys probably hate seeing me beat on this thing, but if you don't want to beat on it, don't beat on yours. This one's mine and I'll do what I like with it. Comparatively, this thing's out shooting the Dragon Claw night and day. Guys, see this wiggly stock? It's not a problem with the M50. I stole my cheese dick stock off of my S45 and slapped it on here so I'd have a good one on the semi-automatic offering. Not terrible. We're making a clover leaf down there. This is out shooting the Dragon Claw, and it is doing so to the tune of double the energy if these power ratings from AEA are correct. Today won't be the day you guys get power ratings, because if there's a fire that comes over that ridge, we go. Okay, this one's really big. Yeah, this one really doesn't want to go home. It's gonna go home though. Go in your home. Too good for your home?
Use your foot.
Yeah! That's how I feel. After all the rushing and beating and fire talk, I'm definitely not paying attention to my fundamentals, as will be shown in that footage. I think the best thing that I can do for you guys at this point is just go ahead and double the distance. 50 yards is really the beginning of the engagement distance that a 495 slug should be able to handle. I have some gongs out there, size 8 inches, 4 inches, and 2 inches. So it should be a pretty good cross-section of what to test our skills with both of these rifles. Even though I had to beat these rounds into the breech, because of the accuracy that I'm seeing with them, I am going to continue to use them. And if you don't like it, don't look. Ultimately, this is my range day, and a million people have already told me that I'm using the wrong ammo, and at this point, I do know it. But if I don't show you, who will? None of this was. All right. Still good. Still good. Still good. All right, guys. We are moved out to 50 yards at this point. We're ready to try our luck with the gongs. All right. What is our pressure level like? We're at 3,900 PSI at this point. I'm gonna let it ride. Looks like we're hitting just a little bit low there too. I'm gonna go ahead and move over to that secondary. There's that stock. If you guys remember that stock from the S45, leave a like. I do not know if that went over or under. So interesting. So concerned about this thing falling apart on me after having to beat its ass all day. It's like, man, I don't know where I'm going. Just below it. Man, I hate doing this to this thing. Hit. All right. Let's put one more shot out there. See if we can't connect with those smaller gongs.
There we go. Let's see.
Why? Why? I hate doing this, dude. So I hit the one directly next to the one that I was aiming for, proving to me that my zero is just not correct for this thing. But to be perfectly frank with you guys, I just don't enjoy the shooting experience that goes along with this M50 based on how hard I have to beat this thing's ass to be able to get it online. Alright guys, we are saved successfully at this point, and we are going to go ahead and throw out some of these flat point rounds from Seneca in this venerable Dragon Claw. I hope I'm able to give you guys a better showing at 50 yards than I was with the M50 just now. And I know a lot of you guys are going to attribute that to a poor ammunition choice, but like I said, if I don't show you this information, I just don't know who out there is gonna. That was very solid. Just to the right, it appears. I'm gonna go ahead and scooch her on over to the left. That's power, and we're hitting. That is serious power, and we are seriously hitting. there. Damn.
Yosemite.
So we are still way over as far as the left is concerned. I'm gonna go ahead and try and see if I can hit what I'm aiming at for you guys for once in this episode, and drag it over just a little bit further. Almost. Last try, last try, last try. Let's do this. Again with another disappointing miss. I think that's all we can really ask of it. Without doing all of the work at 25 yards necessary to really zero this thing in, you just can't expect it to go ahead and translate into some awesome results downrange for you. I have one final piece of this puzzle for you guys to get into in this episode, and then you guys can make your own decision on what you think would be best in your collection. We're going to go ahead and shift both the M50 and the Dragon Claw with a full fill charge out to 100 yards. I have a huge barn of a target set up out there, so there's no way I can possibly miss it. I do have some Mr. Hollow Point approved ammunition, clear to cycle, clean to cycle, ready to go for the M50. I'm not going to change from the flat point ammunition that's working well for me in the Seneca, but I think in the name of fairness, based on the fact that I'm having trouble loading in the M50 with the previous ammunition, I have to go to some approved stuff. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, we're all filled up, we're all topped up, and we've got our camera moved out to 100 yards. All we have left to do at this point is go ahead and see what the group looks like in a 5-round setting from the Dragon Claw. Still no breech seal. Still don't care. Wow, that looks little. Looks far away.
The
Top center diamond.
Grains are one of mine and Mac's favorites for the Challenger Pro.
Low right. Look at the difference in the point of aim versus the point of impact there, gentlemen. I am really glad that I have this big target out here for you guys. It took me a lot of material and a lot of time to be able to make this thing, but I am happy I have it now. I never would have connected with a 12x12. It's impossible. At that distance, I'm like 3 feet off. But it's grouping. It's right there. It's right there. Let's see how this group develops. For not having a breech seal, pretty stellar. It's like a 3-inch group. If this was zeroed point of impact versus point of aim, it's a deer rifle all day. I think it's also important to note that not a single round has had trouble feeding, even compromised with no breech seal. Way off to the right on that one. Might be losing our velocity based on the fact that the fill is diminishing and getting that spin rate to drop just ever so slightly. So we're looking at about a 6x6 inch group out there. That's pretty much the best that I could have done with my own skills and this rifle and that ammunition. The scope is going to be consistent across everything, so I can't factor that in. But with this rifle and the flat point ammunition, that's about how I'm going to do at 100 yards on any given day. These hollow base round nose slug in the 145 grain variety proved to be the only ones that cycled any kind of decent last filming episode. That's what I mean, guys. It was the only round that did any kind of decent cyclically last week, and I just proved it. No effort required whatsoever, and they seed. Hopefully they'll go ahead and give us some accuracy today at 100 yards. Looking to be about 9 o'clock on the board there. Now watch. Watch real close. Full seated, no beating on it. Let's give myself some zoom here. Easy feeding.
That's a good thing.
Now we are dropping 10 inches apparently, 6 inches apparently. Let's see what happens with the rest of the group.
Wow. Guaranteed.
And it's showing its non-regulated colors for sure. Kind of see it declining down the board in elevation. That's probably pointing to a declining FPS as well. All in all, consistency-wise, I would have to give it to the Dragon Claw at 100 yards. Ultimately, with this being as pellet picky as it is, I think it's going to be a very difficult row to hoe as far as finding something that works reliably enough with the accuracy necessary to go ahead and supersede something that's been in the game as long as the Dragon Claw. On the inverse of that, however, we saw that even something as venerable as the Dragon Claw can still have problems, losing my breech seal effectively in the first group. Without that breech seal being removed, there was no way I was going to be able to close that breech at all, and I did what I had to do to keep it going. It's just the nature of air guns. This one has a bolt that's picky on pellets, that one lost its breech seal, my Blitz doesn't sometimes cycle in fully automatic. They all have their quirks. It's just up to you and what you can live with. I think it's going to be a great place to go ahead and end today's episode, but if you like today's episode, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so that you can stay current on the channel as well as when new videos come out. If you really like this video, make sure you share it so that other people can see it, and I'll catch you boys in the next one.